Morning, cardio done. You join me at a frustrating weight loss stall. I've literally been 83.4 or 0.3 every day this week. And that is really annoying because I haven't changed anything, been pushing hard, not seeing it come to fruition. And also visually as well, like at least sometimes if the scale weight doesn't change, you see something quite good visually. I think visually it's kind of the same. So that brings me on to a good topic, which is what can we do once our contest prep, once our weight loss stalls? What are the solutions? But first, as always, let's get coffee. Okay, coffee achieved. Oh, I know I'm an addict because that is my reaction to having a coffee. The caffeine just hits my taste buds and makes me feel better. So cardio's done, but get some steps in as well. Double down on the expenditure and some sunlight exposure. That's a good start to the day. But the first thing we should probably address if you are stalled out or stalling out is you probably shouldn't panic. In fact, not probably, you shouldn't panic. The most important thing is to not make decisions blindly or rashly without looking at the data first. So once I get my full week's worth of weigh-ins logged in, then I will make sure that I have a good decision to make. I suspect something will have to change because for the amount of calories I'm on, the expenditure is not super high, but it's high enough. We should be shifting. We really should be shifting, you know? I really wish I bought my sunglasses. Sunglasses acquired, that's better. But that also reiterates why you need to give yourself time in prep. Like, if I wasn't so far out for my first show, and then had a week like this, you'd be very worried because then you would be forced into a decision of like cranking up expenditure or pulling calories down even further. Whereas being this far out, we can take a little bit of a more rational look at it, maybe go, give it one more week, or maybe even, there are occasions where you have to coax the body into a bit of fat loss. You put some, do another double day refeed or something like that. There are other options than just pulling on those two levers, but yeah, if you've not got time, then you really are, your hand is forced cranking those two levers down as hard as possible. I'm annoyed, it's a frustrating week. We'll talk more about those expenditure and calorie intake levers once I've done these steps. I'm gonna just enjoy this coffee, relax a little bit, and get some sun. Okay, so what are these two levers we get to pull on? Well, it really comes down to two things. It's going to be reducing calories or increasing expenditure. As a natural bodybuilder, outside of those two things, there's not much more that's going to be able to push the needle that much. Even things like maybe a Himbean or something, which, okay, has a little bit of a fat loss boosting effect, but not enough to really move the needle that much in the time frames we're talking about in a contest prep. So let's say you're in the same position as me. You've had a week of consistent weigh-ins and you've made the decision to change something. What should you do? If you're in the blessed situation that I'm in, where you have a bit of extra time, you have a couple of extra weeks potentially, you really only want to be changing one of those variables at a time. So either you're going to reduce your calorie intake or you're going to increase your expenditure through steps or cardio. Make changes to one of those variables and then see how everything moves in the next few weeks. The reason why you don't want to be doing both at the same time, you won't really know which one had the biggest effect, whether it was the calorie decrease or the expenditure increase. But also you run the risk of, if you reduce your calories by 300 and you reduce your expenditure by 600 calories, you've actually created another 900 calorie deficit, which is pretty intense over a week to make that big a change at once. And you run the risk of then running yourself into a lot of fatigue, into a lot of diet fatigue, a lot of hunger. Again, the more harsh the deficit, the more you risk muscle loss as well. So in terms of managing everything at the same time, how hard you push yourself into that deficit is going to be really important. So just changing one of those variables at a time is probably the way to go. And the good thing about doing that as well, it gives you the other lever when you hit another stall. You have a week of consistent weigh-ins. You decide you change something, but last time you made a change, you decreased calories from food. Okay, well, cool. Now I can increase expenditure. I still have that in my back pocket. I still have that card to play. Whereas again, if you've done both early, there's nowhere else to go. And you're going to have to be then pushing calories down even further or pushing expenditure up even further and digging yourself further into a hole. That being said, if you are low on time, you need to make a decision and make it fast. And you're, let's say, 8 weeks or fewer to a show. The smart thing will probably be in that case to just do both. Pull both levers and expedite that fat loss, because you don't really have time to mess around. You pretty much need to play your hand. So in terms of natural bodybuilding, these are the things, the variables we have to play with in a contest prep. Unfortunately, I did hit a lower weight in at the end of the week. I still suspect changes will be made. If I was coaching myself, I would make changes. I would at least put expenditure up. My food's already quite low. As you know, I'm doing a sort of more aggressive start to prep with the idea of hopefully being able to take the foot off the gas. But my expenditure is not that high. I could do more steps per day, or I could easily do another session of cardio or extend the sessions I am doing relatively easily. In my case, I'm suspect we'll be pulling the expenditure lever, but let's see how it all comes out. One thing I haven't done really is done like an actual physique review. Throw up some posing here and I will talk you through how that's going. I think this is actually the best my front pose has looked so far. I've been not happy with how it's been. I think my waist has looked very wide. Now maybe some body fat's come off. My posing is much better and I really like this front pose. And then my next side pose I hate. I think it's awful. I don't know why that left side pose is just doesn't look good on my physique, but we'll keep playing around with it. Back pose is good. That's something where this off season I put a lot of effort in. Like ran up T-bar row, sumo deadlift, ran that up. Pretty happy with that. That's always going to be a good pose for me. And then going into my next side pose, which was my favorite pose of all of them. I love this side pose. I love this pose. And I'd say it still looks pretty strong. And then we're back into the front pose, which again is looking much better and I'm a fan of. That's where the physique's at right now, 14 weeks out. Now, I feel like every week I keep saying things are getting serious. At 14 weeks, this is, we're in that crunch time where I can make things happen in the next 2 weeks that will dictate the rest of prep. Once we hit that 12 weeks out mark, obviously that's a big milestone. 12 weeks is big. So these next 2 weeks, I'm expecting things to move. We also have the WMBF UAE, the Gulf Amateur Show coming up in 2 weeks time. And hopefully in the next vlog, I can take you kind of behind the scenes. I have to do a venue visit. I'll kind of show you how it's all going to get set up. Hope that helps. If any of you are hitting fat loss plateaus, prep plateaus, now you have a bit of guidance on what to do. I'll catch you in the next one.